the hour I first believed. Through many dangers, joys.
In the waters of baptism, Lawrence died with Christ and rose with him to new life. May he now share with him eternal glory.
May it be an evening star shines down upon you. May it be when darkness falls, your heart will be true. You walk a lonely road. Oh, how far you are from home. Morning air, ooh, to
It is a great honor for me to share the eulogy, and more, it's a tribute to my uncle, Lawrence Torres. Nothing in life can prepare us for death of a loved one. Whether death results from a sudden accident or a sustained illness, it always catches us off guard. Death is so deeply personal and stunningly final. Nothing can emotionally prepare us for its arrival. With every death, there is a loss, and with every loss, there will be grief. On behalf of the family, I would like to begin by thanking everyone that is here, and for those who have sent their condolences. We have received countless phone calls, emails, text messages, visits, thoughts, and prayers. They have been both comforting during this difficult time and have been a reminder of the impact that my uncle Lawrence Torres had on so many others. My name is Jessica Jones. I am Uncle Laurie's niece. Upon reflecting what I would say about the uniqueness of my uncle, I have chosen, as best as I know, to stay away from trite expressions. Instead, my desire is for you to see through the eyes of a family member who has observed, learned, appreciated, respected, and now honor him as I have grown older in my years. But before I embark on this journey, I want to ask you a question. When you hear or think of the name Lawrence Torres, what words immediately comes to mind? If you are like me, there is no single word to choose from. Let me share a few adjectives that comes to mind. Humorous, joyful, nurturing, altruistic, real, stubborn, strong, tenacious, adventurous, a lover of nature, energetic, loyal, and last but not least, very naughty. I am sure there were some words you recognized and shared with me, but hopefully there was at least one word that surprised you. For time's sake, I shall focus on just a few. Lawrence Torres, the seventh child of 12 siblings, lovingly called by Auntie Dudu as Loy, was born on the 22nd of December, 1948. All of us have known him in a variety of roles, be it father, husband, brother, uncle, cousin, mentor, neighbor, or a great friend. I have been privileged to know him as my uncle, and at times as my construction advisor and helper. It is within this context I shall speak from and share the memories of this great man. Uncle Laurie has had a strong connection with nature and animals. He cared for over the years, especially dogs, hunting dogs. Hunting was a passion for him throughout his entire life. I can remember as a young girl watching in awe my father along with Uncle Laurie and his good friend Davis Douglas prepare themselves as hunting season opened, going with their hunting dogs to Edward Trace Maruga. Through this hobby for hunting and the outdoors, we saw his adventurous side along with his good sense of humor and having a good laugh. Now, having spoken to my cousins in Canada and also with my siblings, we reminisced on our memories of Uncle Laurie. And without a doubt, even Neil agreed, and we all concluded that Uncle Laurie taught us life lessons in his very unique way. For example, Uncle Laurie babysitted us as kids on the farm. As such, many of our childhood skills were taught by him. Uncle taught us to ride bike. Now, you all remember the adjective naughty? Let me tell you all how naughty he really was. Uncle Laurie would squeeze our hands with a block of ice and tell us we need to be strong and don't cry. He would love to give us Solo red soft drink, his favorite, with milk. To drink, now not a glass, but a jug. And would tell us to drink all. So much so that our stomachs will be filled to the maximum point. When we all walked, our stomachs will make noise. Our cousin Derek fondly remembered Uncle teaching him life lessons by letting him touch the battery post to get shock. I guess in his own naughty way, teaching him not to touch certain things, to be cautious. Neil also mentioned his most cherished memory with his dad, fishing in Cedrus, where they shared good times of laughter and some good old jokes. His altruistic nature he displayed with his neighbors, and especially with his close friend Ronaldo. Uncle's caring and nurturing side I observed as he cared and loved Auntie Dudu dearly. As we go down memory lane, we can state that Uncle Laurie's journey, it has just begun. Don't think of him as gone away. His journey has just started. Life holds so many facets. This earth is only one. Just think of him as resting from the pain, the sorrow, and the tears in a place of warmth and comfort, where there are no days or years. There's no tears, there's no sorrow. So as we say our final goodbyes, grieving can be the most difficult time for all of us. Trying to balance the feelings of pain, of loss, of heartache, while moving forward with life. Remember to give yourself space and time to grieve and eventually heal. During these times, we can turn to the Word of God for ease and comfort as we continue on our journey on life. Grieving is the process God uses to bring us to a place of wholeness. And as stated in the Bible in the book of Ecclesiastes 3, verses 1 to 8, it states, "There is a time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heaven. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search and a time to give up. A time to keep and a time to throw away. A time to tear and a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. A time for war and a time for peace." So we can be comforted by these words, knowing that one day, one sweet day, we will meet him again. Uncle Laurie, thank you for being a part of our lives. We are all going to miss you. Rest in peace. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, with your permission, I will add a few words to what Jessie has just said. Jessie is my niece, and Laurie, my brother-in-law. And you all are aware that Laurie was really a country boy at heart. Laurie was born in Rock Road, grew up with his siblings and parents in Rock Road, went to school in Rock Road, gave his younger siblings plenty hell in Rock Road, for which, when they look back now, they laugh and they are very grateful for all the fun that they had. Laurie then spent his adult years mainly here in Rochard Road. And Laurie rarely ever left Rochard Road except to go to work or occasionally to visit friends and relatives. And today we are gathered here to say a fond farewell to Laurie, and we cross the street a little later to lay him down to lie for the rest of his presence here. Laurie worked for many years with the government house building program. And when, with the slump in the economy, there was less house building, that's the NHS, Laurie was asked to come to work as a supervisor in Arima. And he decided it was really too much asking of him to go every day from Pinal to Arima on the rough roads and the heavy traffic. So Laurie decided to call it quits. After which, he did not have a permanent job, but he didn't mind. Laurie did odds and ends, especially for friends and relatives at no cost. He was, I must tell you, a good plumber, a good mason, really a jack of all trades. And I'm sure a lot of you can attest to his skills and the help that he has given us all willingly. During a weekend, apart from work during the week, on a weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and any public holiday, there was no finding Laurie, no matter how much you wanted to. Laurie and his brothers were always in the wild bush hunting. And that's why we say Laurie was a real country boy at heart, a woodland boy, if you want to put it that way. In Trinidad, Laurie has a few siblings scattered mainly in South Trinidad, one sister in the north. But he also has 4 sisters and their families living abroad, scattered between London, New York, and Toronto. And it is very sad that they have not been able to be present here with us today. One of Laurie's sister and niece booked a flight with BA, got the PCR test done, but had endless horrors to get approval for a travel ticket, what you call it, a travel visit ticket, COVID, to Trinidad. As a result, she was very disappointed, but she and her family and her other sisters are all here with us in spirit. And on behalf of all of you gathered here today, and on behalf of all the friends and relatives who cannot be here today for COVID and for one reason or the other, I would like to extend to Lawrence a hearty goodbye. We will remember Lawrence forever. And I would like to thank all the people who had some form of relationship, association with Lawrence throughout his life. I'm sure he has left many good memories behind. And I would like to thank, well, to start with, I never really knew Lawrence to be sick until his last illness, his only illness, and I'm sure I knew Laurie long enough. We need to thank his son and daughter-in-law and their children, especially, for looking after not only an ill mother, a mother who has been ill for quite some time, but also an ill father who was bedridden literally for a few weeks. So to you and to all the people who helped to look after Lawrence in the last few weeks in particular, but all who gave comfort and all to whom Lawrence gave comfort throughout his life, we thank you and we express our deepest appreciation. Many thanks.
Pleasant good afternoon to friends and family. I would like to thank firstly each and every one of you for being here as we are sending off my Uncle Laurie. I'll be doing a reading from the Book of Wisdom. A blameless life is a ripe old age. The virtuous man, though he die before his time, will find rest. Length of days is not what makes age honorable, nor number of years the true measure of life. Understanding, this is man's gray hairs. Untarnished life, this is ripe old age. He has sought to please God, so God has loved him. As he was living among sinners, he has been taken up. He has been carried off, so that evil may not rob his understanding, or treachery seduce his soul. For the fascination of evil throws good things into the shade, and the whirlwind of desire corrupts a simple heart. Coming to perfection is so short a while. He achieved long life, his soul being pleasing to the Lord. He has taken him quickly from the wickedness around him. Yet people look on, uncomprehending. It does not enter their heads that grace and mercy await the chosen of the Lord, and protection his holy ones. Thank you.
Jungfrau mir
way up high, and the dreams that you dream of once in a lullaby. Oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Dreams that you dream of, dreams really do come true. Ooh, someday you wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dream that you dare to, oh why can't I? Well, I see trees of green and red roses too. I'll watch them bloom for me and you, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Well, I see skies of blue and I see clouds of white and the brightness of day. I like the dark and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. The colors of the rainbow, so pretty in the sky, are also on the faces of people passing by. I see friends shaking hands, singing, how do you do? They really say, I love you. I hear babies cry and I watch them grow. They'll learn much more than we'll know, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. Someday I wish upon a star, wake up where the clouds are far behind. Be where trouble melts like a lemon drops, high above the chimney top. That's where you find me, oh, somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, and the dream that you dare to, why